of Horizon Zero Dawn. My rant stream. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna rant about. Well, I know exactly what I'm gonna rant about, but I'm gonna try and keep it as real as possible. And I really just wanna punch someone in the face or punch a wall. So I'd rather just play a video game and let loose that way, because it is what it is. Sorry about the last time it was delayed and I paused in the middle of the stream and I ended it because I had a friend come over, so...
I can feel her fever even in this cold. She shouldn't have been putting weight on this leg.
She is awake.
She is a bitch.
Miss Outlander. You brought her here, Ikri? You think I went to the Nora homelands to find a spear to drive between us? I told you, the ordeal is mine, and mine alone. I will survive.
No, you
Which
won't,
would you rather
actually.
keep, Mylen? Your leg or your pride? Because I think you're gonna have to choose.
Finish it. I know what you think of me. But I vowed you'd join the White Teeth. And you will. I will go back.
Looks like she got some Power Ranger fucking shit
Alone.
going on.
No! Let me do this. Please. Let her. Mylen, I hope you can forgive me someday. I never accepted your help. It's the Werak you should ask for forgiveness.
You're an asshole. Like, you're a fucking straight up asshole.
I didn't care about the Werak.
Oh. She loved you.
She'll understand. You saved her life.
You don't know the Banuk very well, Aloy. We have so many ways to express a grudge, and only one to accept an apology. I have to go my own way. I don't belong with them, who left her to die. And I don't belong with...
Ikri.
I'll find a crack in this glacier, and I'll shout my grief into it. And the ice can keep it forever.
What should I tell them? The Werak.
That I fell. And that she endured. Will you?
Yeah, well, some people have, like, they try and help people, but when they don't accept it, they fucking snub. Or they abuse it, one or the other. It's just bullshit. I'm just kind of frustrated right now because I don't know if I'm being too overzealous about my feelings, and I don't know if I'm being irrational or if I'm rational. Is it rational for me to be protective over somebody when it clearly, I don't know. That's one thing I don't understand. See, right now what's going on is basically I'm really jealous, I guess, of when a female counterpart messages my boyfriend, and in my eyes it seems like, in my eyes, I see that she's trying to get attention, and he's got a bigger subscriber base than I do, which is fine, and that's what we get for being a part of putting our shit out in the open for everybody to fucking hear, or whatever. But
Goodbye, quiet approach.
fucking dick. And I know I've been there where I've been wanting attention and stuff. So sometimes you look outside of your relationship with other people to get attention because you're not getting it at home. And I understand that, but at the same time, she's only a friend. And if my boyfriend can help somebody, then that's what matters. And for me, in my case, it's like, yes, I would like to help anybody out, but when you see clear signs and indications of certain things, I cut that shit off. When people tell me that, you know, oh, can you send me news or something like that? No. I'm fucking happily with somebody. No, I'm not doing that. But when it's like talking about certain shit that I don't really want to put out.
Len has returned. I expect you have something to say about this.
I do.
Then convince me what an Outlander's word is worth.
I'm not up on all of the Banuk traditions, but I know what matters to you is that your laws are upheld. Going by the rules of your ordeal, she endured the 4 days and the 4 nights. She faced the extremes and survived. Seems to me that's what you wanted.
Just so.
Then by the law, my Len will wear our paint.
Outlander. So nothing of the other hunter? The one called Ikri?
She's gone. She sounded brave.
Her name will always be in my song.
My word, you either hunt well or you don't hunt at all.
Pick up a handful of snow. Finish them. Awesome.
Innitor has chosen his path. Let the clouds.
But anyways, back to the rant. I don't want to say too much of something and have people's feelings hurt, but at the same time, like, I feel like my opinion matters. I don't know, like, I feel like there's boundaries, but apparently I'm getting a little over the top when it comes to other females, apparently. So I'm going to keep my comments to myself, and I'm going to keep my opinions and views on the channel. I won't be streaming with Garrett anymore, or Lover Boy 12, whatever. That is what I think is best, is to keep, he can keep his life to himself. like his games to his own channel and my games to my own channel. I don't want to mix in with that. I don't want to know anything anymore. I just kind of gone cold with it. There's a reason why, because I get upset, and because I get upset, feelings get hurt, things get broken, trust is, you know, is lost, and, you know, I don't want to be a part of it anymore. I really don't. I don't care. And I wouldn't, if a person reached out to me and asked for help, I would try and help them so I understand where he's coming from. He's a really nice person. He's a really nice guy. That's why I love him.
Crystal sharp.
But,
Gotta wash my fingers.
at the same time, I believe that there is boundaries. And I'm going to see how it plays out because I'm not going to sit here and my heart breaks. It's stupid. I'm just pissed off because I shouldn't have to feel this way, even though I do. I'm very protective over the people that I love and the people that I care for, especially how many times I got fucked over by my ex. If you want to know that, you can probably find it in other streams. I was trying to stream a little bit of my life, but some of the things that were happening and some of the things that were said were pertaining to my life and my life only. Yeah, I believe he's been a part of my life and he's protecting me in my life. But I think, you know, randomly telling somebody about my life something to do with my life. I don't think it's anybody's business unless I tell somebody. And this is exactly what I'm doing. And I'm talking about my boyfriend and myself, and he is somebody, you know, I'm trying to say don't talk about me, don't talk about my life in his streams. Maybe I shouldn't do the same, but I'm involved in this, so I'm gonna say what the fuck I want. And you know, I'm done, and I don't care, and I still want to be with him. I just don't want to deal with it anymore. You want to talk to other people, that's fine.
Stocking up?
Go ahead. I am happy for you. But I just think there's boundaries, and there's certain things that should be taken into consideration, but who am I? I'm just here. Like I always have before, and I will continue to do because that seems to be my fucking life. When a person messages you in a certain way, I am a female. I know exactly what's happening. I'm not fucking stupid, and I don't have a fucking cover over my eyes. I've been cheated on. I've cheated. I know the rules of the fucking game, which is something that maybe he didn't understand when I was talking about it. When I meant the game, I meant, like, you know, when you're trying to cheat with somebody and you're trying to slip into someone's fucking DMs and make it all about your fucking life. Who the fuck are you? Where the fuck did you come from? And yes, I'm crouching because I'm talking, so I'm just pissed off with the whole situation. We hashed it out and we got over it, and he asked me if I wanted him to delete her. No, because I'm not going to be that fucking person that's going to say, you have to delete everybody. And I would never ask him to delete anybody. Like, no. I'm not going to make him ruin his life. If anything, I want to be here to help support him, and I want him to get better on his channel. And I've helped him with certain things to help make his content a little bit more cooler. Like, you know, thumbnails and stuff like that. Like, I told him the certain things that he needed to help make his thumbnails better and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna sit here and just not say anything, especially when I feel like my emotions and my shit's being threatened. But apparently that seems to be what the fucking case is. That I do need to sit here and let it happen. So I'm just gonna fucking let it happen. I'm gonna let it fucking happen because it's what's best for him. Because I don't know the intentions of this person. I'm just going by assumptions. And that's basically it. My intentions are to be with him and to be happy, but apparently it's just getting worse and worse the more further along I date him. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm not gonna be the one that ruins your fucking life, so figure it out, or I don't know. I'm not figuring it out anymore. I'm not gonna pick apart what she's saying or what she's doing because I'm the bad guy. So I'll always look like the bad guy anyways. Do any of you people that have a significant other, you know, if they talk to somebody and there's certain contacts involved, do you think that, and it's not like bad contacts, but it's certain things that you just fucking know what they're trying to get their point across? They're trying to get their point across, and it's like, I know what you're doing. Like, you're fucking annoying. Just shut the fuck up and leave me alone. Like, leave that. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm just fucking crazy. I don't know. Like, I've never, ever once felt like the need to cheat. I've never, ever felt like... I don't even think I've been this madly in love with somebody. So, I'm gonna get upset because... I love him, but what are you gonna do when you're fucking pushing that person away? So, I don't know, guys. I don't know how long it's gonna last. You can start taking your numbers now, and we'll put a bet. We can put a bet down because that's how fucking pathetic I'm starting to get, I think. Because everything's genuinely my fault, so that's the way I feel about it. And this is the way I feel about my life right now, that I don't have to worry about Josh anymore. I don't have to worry about my ex anymore. Now I gotta worry about...
All of my interactions with Aurea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the Daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss. Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Ourea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Ourea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
I wish I had
your
that.
emotions
Thank you.
don't seem limited to me. You cared about Ourea, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Ourea who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
This Firebreak project, it was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. Lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Do you know what happened to your colleagues, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow, years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
Undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors, more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Ourea said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
What do you think Hephaestus is exactly?
A software entity of great complexity, far more advanced than I am. From the beginning, it has demonstrated a singular focus: the construction of machines designed to hunt and kill humans. My trace routes indicate that to accomplish this goal, it has attempted to take over the manufacturing centers you refer to as cauldrons. But its efforts have only been partially successful. Some it can penetrate. Others have robust countermeasures that frustrate its efforts. In me, however, it found an easier target. Not only could it break my defenses, I also controlled all of Firebreak's resources. Raw material, manufacturing to bootstrap more advanced tools, and unlimited geothermal energy.
Enough to build its own cauldron.
Yes. To construct hunter-killers without external limitations. And yet, it does have internal limitations. It wants to kill humans, but not to exterminate them. It is difficult to understand where it draws the line, and why.
Difficult doesn't even begin to cover it.
Even though I spent years as its unwilling servitor, its core programming remains a mystery to me.
Cyan, do you know the name Ted Faro?
Are you referring to Theodore Faro, CEO of Faro Automated Systems?
That's him.
Mr. Faro was the benefactor of the entire Firebreak project.
A benefactor? But he made machines. Robots. War robots.
Correct. His corporation later transitioned into military applications. But before this pivot, Mr. Faro spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was fated in the media as the man who saved the planet.
Guessing they wound up regretting that one. And Elizabeth Sobek. Did you know her?
Are you referring to the
scientist?
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field. One of the greatest scientists of her age. My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn impacted my own development. But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my lack of data has disappointed you.
What was the old world like? The way it used to be?
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues, or observed from media streams.
You still had more exposure than me, Cyan.
That is true. I was created at a turning point. A concerted effort to recover from global upheaval and incalculable loss of life. The recovery was successful, beginning an era of supposedly limitless potential for human and machine advancement. Though, rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not unlimited.
Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make you?
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistants to industrial monitoring stations to military-grade conflict planners. And there were legislative and enforcement bodies to apply limits on our self-actualization. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary to exceed those limits. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities were kept secret.
Seems strange to create life, then impose limits on it.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone?
Yes, it was a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Aurea's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan. What kind of upheaval caused such loss of life?
There were many factors. Forced migrations, food shortages, collapsed economies, refugee crises, conflict over resources. But these stemmed from one cause: catastrophic climate change that greatly reduced the habitable surface area of the Earth.
So, there wasn't enough room for people on the whole Earth?
Yes. Billions were displaced, and millions perished, as much as 20% of the global population. Until the clawback.
So things got better. For a little while, at least.
Yes. These crises instigated many advances in automation, green robot technologies, and artificial intelligence. Firebreak was one of dozens of ecological restoration and disaster relief projects in North America alone. I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs, but I saw the relief of my colleagues, and I was proud we had succeeded. At least that was the data I had available to me over the next 2 decades. It seems my assessment was premature.
Do you know anything about the dam near here?
Yes. It was converted to serve as a reserve power source for Yellowstone operations. It was later appropriated for the Firebreak project, and its last human workers replaced by Pharaoh servitors. After my tasks became less time-critical, I investigated the dam's data repositories and discovered the works of Concrete Beach Party. These provided me with several colorful additions to my vocabulary.
There's a ruin east of here, full of ancient flying machines. Was that part of your project?
Yes, a drone hangar requisitioned by Dodger Blevins, the security chief for the Firebreak project. He was a strong advocate for military-grade response to security threats, though there were no serious incidents during his tenure. Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his after-hours time watching the live feeds from active drones. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight in his position.
You meant a lot to Aurea.
Once I understood Aurea's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Aurea's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined. How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Aurea, perhaps he and I will help each other. Will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
I should get going.
Aloy, there is one more matter. Aratak will come to me again, and I predict he will bring other Banuk. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with Aurea.
You're asking me if you should lie to them?
Broadly, yes.
I trust your judgment, Cyan. You were cautious with Aurea. You had to be. You didn't know what had happened to the world. So, keep doing what you think is best. As long as you ditch the superstition eventually.
As the Banuk believe I am a supernatural entity, I cannot predict how they will react.
Just answer what they do ask the best you can. The truth will come out.
I see. I will follow your advice. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that, Cyan. I'll come back when I can. I should check on Aratak. See how he's doing.
Hello, Aloy.
Sure, Cyan. Time for me to head out, Cyan.
I look forward to speaking with you again, Aloy.
Now we know a bit more of what's going on.
My chieftain.
Just... Aloy.
As you wish.
I wondered if you thought... that if I'd never come along, Aurea might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Aurea would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
You didn't let her down. You helped her do what she wanted. To find her destiny.
If that's destiny, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
That's fair. But she was ready to face it.
Only in the struggle against death do we find, even for a moment, the spark of life. Truly, Ourea found the spark. I'm proud of her. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Werak can't follow. Besides, we'd already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the Cauldron?
Yes, Fire Claws. Naltuk has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
For
It would seem your
picked
time
out
among
of
the
things.
Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
What do you think Hephaestus is, Silence?
I'm not sure. But its name comes from a language even the old ones considered ancient, as does the name Hades. A connection, perhaps, as yet unglimpsed. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You could stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back in 1 second.
I could forget what warmth feels like out here.
That's hilarious. I want this. So I had someone send something to me. Baby, I cooked, and he says, "What's for dinner?" And it says, "That bitch you've been texting." I think that's fucking hilarious. That's great. My friend is so awesome. Let's out of the forge. Alright, we'll do that. But honestly, it's like so fucking true. It's like, oh my god. I can't believe you've done this. Oh, sorry. Doesn't matter where you go or what you do, you're still the bad person. I don't even care anymore. Fuck it. I'm just gonna keep quiet. That's my opinion. I'm gonna stay quiet. I'm not gonna say a fucking thing anymore. Like, we hashed it out last night, but that just threw me, like, right over. Like, just, you know what the fucking person is messaging. Like, you are not fucking stupid, man. Like, I'm not fucking stupid. I know how to fucking do that shit. You think I want to? Fuck that. I have a good person, apparently. And I'm pretty sure he is. At least I fucking hope so.
Fireclaw.
Is this that Fireclaw we're talking
One of the Fireclaws from Thunderstruck.
everything, but
I'm out.
Wait. Gotta open another bottle. Bottle of booze, my last day off, and fuck it all, and I'll have another one. That was fast. Alright, one in there. One down there. One right there. I found him.
Let's get on with it.
This is the final one. Something might possibly help me. I don't know. I totally
This'll help.
what I need in the area. My friend's kind of dealing with some shit too, so
Save these for the trail.
I might need to hear Facebook in the background. Only 2 more.
Think of summer sun. Breeze through the trees.
Yeah, we're getting dumped on right now too. Hang on, Mom.
These will keep. Now they're hunting me.